This video is designed to help you start an ice cream business. At the end of the video, you'll find a valuable gift. It's an ice cream business plan that you can download, and will lay down for you, step by step, everything you need to know to start a successful ice cream business of your own. If you are new to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. The best way to learn something is by doing, and that goes double for the ice cream business. Honestly, you can read a book about ice cream shops and ice cream businesses, but until you work at one, you won't fully understand what it means to welcome a customer, or what the perfect consistency of ice cream should be when you serve it. If you really want to understand the ice cream industry, you need to go work at an ice cream shop. Get a feel for staffing, for ordering, for marketing, for inventory. The list goes on, and no one can teach you better than an industry veteran who's been running her own shop for years. While there are lots of ice cream franchises around, the majority of ice cream shops in the US are mom-and-pop family-owned shops, which have a lifespan of decades, so it shouldn't be hard to find a great shop to learn from. You don't need to go work for them for a long time. Of course, the more time you spend under a successful business owner, the more you learn on how to run your future shop the right way. So utilize the time you do spend with them wisely. Ask questions. Take on as many responsibilities as you can. Look for ways to make the business more efficient. Talk to customers. Ask them why they shop at this store as opposed to others. What do they love about it? What would they improve? Learn about the legal requirements of owning your own ice cream business. What permits do you need? What certifications does each employee have to have? Figure out what equipment you'll need, and how much it'll cost. Everything you're doing here is market research, so the more of it you do, the better. Ultimately, it will all boil down into understanding the ice cream business, and this will help you create a solid plan. Earning potential. How much money do ice cream businesses make? Well, ice cream store workers make about $10 to $15 per hour. Management salaries run between $25,000 to $38,000 a year. These are costs you'll have to factor into your business plan when figuring out your earning potential. But as the owner, your earning potential depends on how your store does. Are you a high-end, specialty ice creamery making healthy, organic ice cream in-house, or do you order your flavors in bulk from a distributor? If you're an independent store, you can set your prices and your margins as high as you'd like, but if your product doesn't meet expectations, you won't be in business for long. However, if your offering does well, you can charge as much as you like for ice cream. Take a look at Lick Honest Ice Cream in Austin, Texas. This small chain makes their seasonal and artisanal ice cream in-house using organic ingredients, allowing them to charge significantly more than traditional ice cream parlors. On top of that, they have distribution in place allowing them to sell their products throughout the state, and even deliver anywhere in the country. If you're a franchise on the other hand, then your margins are already set and you can check with the franchise for expectations. Cold Stone Creamery stores, for example, average about $358,000 a year in sales. After operating costs and franchise fees are taken out of that, a store owner can still expect to make a comfortable yearly salary. The earning potential is there. There's an upward trend in disposable income as the economy continues to improve. That drives a higher demand for frozen treats. The ice cream industry in the US brought in just over $5 billion in 2022, and that number is growing every year. For those who succeed, the ice cream business offers longevity not available in every industry. The IDFA states that most ice cream businesses are family-owned and have stayed in the business for over 50 years. Set a budget. How much does it cost to open an ice cream shop? That all depends on your business. Will you have a mobile stand, truck, or a brick-and-mortar store? An ice cream stand will need $2,000 to $10,000 in startup funds. An ice cream truck will need only slightly more than that. And according to the National Ice Cream Retailers Association, a brick-and-mortar startup can run from $50,000 to over $1 million, for the store space alone. And of course, there are the costs for equipment and inventory, making starting an ice cream business fairly expensive. But the good news is that there are lots of financing and small business loan options available to you. Plus, there are ways to lower those costs. For example, you can take over the lease payments of a closed location. But then you have to look at why that location closed, and if it's worth it to take over the location. If you're building a store from scratch, your costs will be significantly more than taking over a location that's already equipped to handle an ice cream store. Equipment costs also vary greatly depending on what type of store you are. A truck or trailer will have significantly less space, meaning smaller offerings and smaller equipment needs than a brick and mortar. Building a drive-thru would cost significantly more. The next part of the video is not specific to an ice cream business. Nevertheless, this knowledge is essential for success in the ice cream business, as well as in any other business. Ignore it at your own peril. Operating a successful ice cream business will depend on the following 4 conventions. 1. A practical plan, with a solid foundation. 2. Dedication, and willingness to sacrifice, to reach your goal. 3. Technical skills. 4. Basic knowledge of management, finance, record keeping and market analysis. As a new owner, you will need to master these skills and techniques if your business is to be successful. Finding a niche. Small businesses range in size from a manufacturer, with many employees, and millions of dollars in equipment, to the lone window washer, with a bucket and a sponge. Obviously, the knowledge and skills, required for these two extremes, are far apart, but for success they have one thing in common. Each has found a business niche, and is filling it. The most critical problems you will face, in your early planning, will be to find your niche, and determine the feasibility of your idea. Get into the right business at the right time, is very good advice, but following that advice may be difficult. Many entrepreneurs plunge into a business venture, so blinded by the dream, that they fail to thoroughly evaluate its potential. Is your business idea feasible? Before you invest time, effort, and money, the following exercise will help you separate sound ideas from those bearing a high potential for failure. Identify and briefly describe the business you plan to start. Identify the product or service you plan to sell. Answering yes to any of the following 3 questions means you are on the right track. A negative answer to all of them means the road ahead could be rough. 1. Does your product or service satisfy an unfilled need? 2. Will your product or service serve an existing market in which demand exceeds supply? 3. Will your product or service be competitive based on its quality, selection, price, or location? Market analysis. For a small business to be successful, the owner must know the market. To learn the market, you must analyze it, a process that takes time and effort. You don't have to be a trained statistician to analyze the marketplace, nor does the analysis have to be costly. Analyzing the market is a way to gather facts about potential customers, and to determine the demand for your product or service. The more information you gather, the greater your chances of capturing a segment of the market. Know the market before investing your time and money in any business venture. The following questions will help you collect the information necessary to analyze your market, and determine if your product or service will sell. This brief exercise will give you a good idea of the kind of market planning you need to do. An answer of no to any of the questions indicates a weakness in your plan, so do your research until you can answer each question with a yes. 1. Do you know who your customers will be? 2. Do you understand their needs and desires? 3. Do you know where they live? 4. Will you be offering the kind of products or services that they will buy? 5. Will your prices be competitive in quality and value? 6. Will your promotional program be effective? 7. Do you understand how your business compares with your competitors? 8. Will your business be conveniently located for the people you plan to serve? 9. Will there be adequate parking facilities for the people you plan to serve? Planning your startup. The following questions are grouped according to function. They are designed to help you prepare for opening day. Merchandise. Have you decided what items you will sell or produce, or what services you will provide? Have you made a merchandise plan, based upon estimated sales, to determine the amount of inventory you will need to control purchases? Have you found reliable suppliers, who will assist you in the startup? Have you compared the prices, quality, and credit terms of suppliers? Business records. Are you prepared to maintain complete records of sales, income and expenses, accounts payable, and receivables? Have you determined how to handle payroll records, tax reports, and payments? Do you know what financial reports should be prepared, and how to prepare them? Finances. A large number of small businesses fail each year. There are a number of reasons for these failures, but one of the main reasons is insufficient funds. Too many entrepreneurs try to start and operate a business without sufficient capital, money. To avoid this dilemma, you can review your situation by analyzing the following 3 questions. 1. How much money do you have? 2. How much money will you need to start your business? 3. How much money will you need to stay in business? In order to answer the second question, how much money will you need to start your business? You need to prepare an estimate of all your startup costs. Here is a list of items you may need to take into account. Note that this list is for a retail business. Items will vary for service, construction, manufacturing or online firms. Decorating and remodeling, fixtures and equipment, installing fixtures and equipment, services and supplies, beginning inventory cost, legal, professional fees, licenses and permits, telephone utility deposits, insurance, signs, advertising for opening, unanticipated expenses. Now, the answer to the third question, how much money will you need to stay in business? Must be divided into two parts, immediate costs, and future costs. From the moment the door to your new business opens, a certain amount of income may come in. However, this income should not be projected in your operating expenses. You will need enough money available to cover costs for at least the first 3 months of operation. The following list will help you project your operating expenses on a monthly basis. Typical expenses for 1 month may include your living costs, employee wages, rent, advertising, supplies, utilities, insurance, taxes, maintenance, delivery, transportation, miscellaneous. Now sum up the total estimated monthly expenses, and multiply it by 3. This is the amount of cash you will need to cover operating expenses for 3 months. Deposit this amount in a savings account before opening your business. Use it only for those purposes listed in the above list, because this money will ensure that you will be able to continue in business during the crucial early stages. By adding the total startup costs to the total expenses for 3 months, you can learn what the estimated costs will be to start and operate your business for 3 months. By subtracting the totals of the lists from the cash available, you can determine the amount of additional financing you may need, if any. Now you will need to estimate your operating expenses for the first year after startup. The first step in determining your annual expenses is to estimate your sales volume, month by month. Next, determine the cost of sales. You may want to use a spreadsheet to do this. After startup, the primary source of revenue in your business will be from sales, but your sales will vary from month to month because of seasonal patterns and other factors. It is important to determine if your monthly sales will produce enough income to pay each month's bills. An estimated cash flow projection will show if the monthly cash balance is going to be subject to such factors as the following: failure to recognize seasonal trends, excessive cash taken from the business for living expenses, too rapid expansion, and slow collection of accounts if credit is extended to customers. Conclusion: if you have carefully answered all the questions in this video, you have seriously thought about your goal. However, there may be some things you may feel you need to know more about. Owning and running an ice cream business is a continuous learning process. Research your idea, and do as much as you can, yourself, but don't hesitate to seek help from people who can tell you what you need to know. As we conclude this video, it's time you get your free ice cream business plan gift. Go to the description below this video to get it now. It is completely free, no strings attached. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this.